Hi. Wow. No. Let's start. Okay. Hi. It's Dad, Daughter, and Daggers here. I'm the dad, John.
And I'm the daughter, Adrian.
And today we're going to be doing a little bit of review of a knife that I have been carrying probably the most in the last few years. So that's why we're starting off with this knife. And it is, Adria, the name?
The Sleek.
No, Kershaw Leek.
Kershaw Leek. I know. It was like something like. Yeah.
Sleek, Leek, close. So it's why we chose this knife is that, you know, over the years I've carried lots of different knives, and this particular one has probably gotten the most pocket time out of any knife that we own. Right, Age?
Yeah.
And who makes this knife?
Kershaw.
And who designed this knife?
What kind of name is that?
I don't know. It's a weird name. But
okay, Ken Onion.
That's right. And I would say, do you want to show them some of the actions?
Yeah, so...
Don't get into the details. Just show them how it works.
So it's a flipper.
It's a flipper, yeah.
It's a flipper, and you just press the button, and it flips open.
Yep. It's Kershaw's Quick Safe. Everybody knows about it.
Yeah.
A lot of people love it. It has some critics, but it works very easily from any hand. And so it's arguable that Ken Onion may be the best designer in our lifetime. I know, funny name, right? But, you know, I say this for a few reasons. I'm not a knife expert. We just talk about what we like.
Yeah.
But he has multiple makers and multiple models. There's a good chance that his models, considering all the brands he's worked with, most likely he's sold the most units in modern times. I don't have these numbers, but as far as business goes, it's my belief that Ken Onion may have sold the most units to date compared to any other designer. You know, let me know your thoughts. If you think that there's a better designer out there, or if you think someone has attached their name to a particular knife or brand and has sold more units than Ken Onion, put it in the comments below. And now we'll get into some of the details of the knife.
Yeah.
You want to do some?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your opinion of the knife,
So,
Age?
I like this knife only because, well, one time when we went on vacation, like Easter break and stuff, my dad brought this knife and another knife that he found in a supermarket, and...
Long story. Maybe another video.
Yeah. He found it in a supermarket, but when he started using it, like to make, like we were like making walking sticks, and it broke. And
first 5 minutes.
First 5 minutes.
The bigger, bulkier knife with a thicker blade.
It was like
literally broke within 5 minutes
like we never used it
of use.
Yeah. No wonder they left it in a supermarket.
I know, right?
No.
So this I had with me, the Kershaw Leek. Now you wouldn't think this is a very efficient camping knife.
It's only a pocket knife.
It's a pocket knife.
Yeah.
A lot of people would consider this a medium to small knife. It's also considered a gentleman's carry in some circles. That's part of the reason why I like it. I will get into that later in the video. But we were camping with the whole family.
Yeah.
And we needed walking sticks and kindling and tinder.
And we brought a dog. So.
And we had dogs to take care of, and, you know, fires to make and walking sticks to sharpen. And this knife
actually did the job. And we also threw it too.
And we practiced throwing knives, and we taught the kids how to throw knives and stick it in wood. And this particular pocket knife that many would consider to have an extremely thin blade, which it does.
It didn't bend at all. Even the tip.
Even the tip.
It's literally
It's a very fine tip knife, and that's one of the detractors that some people complain about. That it is a drop point blade, and it is extremely thin. But having this knife over the last few years, not babying it, using it for all sorts of use, I've got to trust this blade over the course of using it. So I actually gave one of these to my dad, and he likes bigger, bulkier, thicker blades. And his first observation was, "Wow, that's really pointy and it's a really thin blade." And I explained to him that I used it all the time. Told him the camping story, and now he's had it. How long has he had his knife?
A couple months.
Couple months.
Yeah.
And I asked him, did you get used to the long point? Did you get used to the thin blade? Have you used some heavy use? And basically he said yes. So we're going to go over some of the ergonomics of the knife as well. Again, it's Ken Onion, who is known not just for the look of his knives, but the ergonomics. So the handle really disappears in the hand in any format, in any way that you grab it. So this is not necessarily a finger choil, but it does rest nicely in there. You can get your pinch there. The back, I wear a men's large glove, and I can get my whole hand on the knife, including my pinky. It really disappears. One thing that I've noticed about this pocket knife versus other pocket knives is that this part rests in the palm of your hand when you're using it. So
and that's
like
why
this,
it's like a little curve.
it rests in the palm of your hand while you're using it and cutting it, and it's extremely comfortable.
Don't mind that. I just.
So it's very ergonomic. It disappears in the hand a lot more than other knives. There's no noticeable hot spots.
Yeah, but one thing that some people don't like about it is that the tip is so sharp and it's so the blade is so thin that people think it's just gonna bend automatically. But it hasn't.
It's really held up. Although if you can see that, we'll try to get it to focus.
It's kind of
there is a little bend at the tip.
Yeah.
But I don't baby these knives, and for a long time I was in the camp that a good pocket knife is a good pocket knife, but there's really no reason to spend over $50 for a good pocket knife. This knife retails for about $45. When it first came out, I had one years ago. It was about $120, and that's another story for another video. We're not sponsored, so we do purchase all of our knives. This does have a little bit of jimping on the bottom, and then also on the top. Whoa! Sorry about that. But if you can see that on the top where your finger goes, you can cut with a finger down. There you can also choke up. I don't know if you can see that. It's not necessarily a finger choil, but there is a little recess before the blade starts.
Yeah,
where if you wanted to choke up for some fine whittling, you definitely can, and still. So some of the other attributes of this knife is it has a right-handed tip-down carry, 2-position clip, top and bottom. It also has a safety mechanism that slides back and forth. I took mine off. I really didn't see a need for a safety on a knife that has a real good detent and a pretty smooth operation.
It's an option.
Yeah, it's an option.
It's an option.
I chose to take mine off.
The options are that you could take this off, but it's really my grandfather, my dad's dad, actually
took his clip off, right?
Yeah, took his clip off, but he had to find a person to actually remove the clips and stuff.
Yeah, he didn't have the torch.
And we just removed the thing.
So.
And the reason why we removed it was because it loosens up after a while, and it started just sliding over. And when we would try to flip it, and it would just slide
Exactly.
over.
You go to use your knife. You got one-handed operation, obviously. It closes very easily. It opens light switch or push button. It has some jimping on the flipper as well. You want to flip it open, H? Show everybody how to do it.
So, it's an option,
you
if you
could
want to
push
flip it
or
this
light
way.
switch.
You could push or just, slide your finger,
Either way works for this knife.
Yeah. and then it just
And
opens.
you think that's smooth?
Yeah.
It's pretty smooth,
It's
huh?
pretty smooth. And the lockup on this is that
Yes, lock up.
And the lockup on this is really, really good. Like,
do you feel any movement when you do that?
there is no movement. Like, the only movement that might be like what you think is just your hand, because literally,
there is no movement.
No movement.
For a $45 knife, the fit and finish, the lockup on this it is fantastic. And let me try to see if we can zoom in on the lockup. It's, what percentage would you say that is, Age?
54.
Yeah, it's about 54%. It's more than 50%. So it's a frame lock, obviously, and it's extremely comfortable, extremely easy to open. It's affordable. It's not super cheap. It's not a budget knife, but it's not a high end. It's not going to cost you $100. And for the money and the value, I think that you'll really enjoy this knife. I carry it with the clip, and also gentleman carry on the back of my wallet, in the pocket. So it's pretty versatile. It's pretty tough. It's a favorite from a lot of people, and I really enjoy this knife. And it just makes an awesome sound. What do you think of that sound when it opens? It's very snappy and very quick. There's not really much of a thunk, but there is a cool snap.
It's like,
Oh,
come on,
sorry.
It's more like a.
You know it's open. Without looking, you know the knife is open and ready to go. So that's it. That's the Kershaw Leek.
Yeah.
I would say that we're both fans, right?
Yeah, this was like the first knife. So when we got this knife, it was
The beginning of my new
it was
collection.
the beginning of your new collection. Well, you had this knife for a long time, and then what was the second knife?
No, that was a different one.
Oh yeah.
I was fishing, and like I said, I actually found one of these, and I was not familiar with Kershaw. I had collected knives and pocket knives my whole life. Got away from collecting, got away from everyday carry, and I found one of these probably about 6 or 7 years ago. And I was on a business trip. I actually FedExed the knife back to my house because it was after 9/11, and I didn't want to take it on the plane. So for the cost of FedEx, I had one of these for basically free. I was fishing with my son, throwing it in the dock, and it bounced off the dock and into the water. So I got the knife for free, and it went bye-byes for free.
Yeah.
And then I thought it was a $100 knife, and to my surprise, I found it at a local retailer for $45. And it has a lot of preferences that I like. It has a little bit of a thumb ramp. The ergonomics are great. It's not huge. It's not super small. It's full metal construction. It's a frame lock. I mean, there's just so many things. It's a flipper. It has so many attributes that I prefer in an everyday carry pocket knife. And that's why this is our first video. And that's why we chose this knife to do. Yeah. So I did start collecting again. My daughter was interested in it as I started showing and sharing the knives with her. So hopefully you guys will enjoy Dad, Daughter, and Daggers, our channel. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell for reminders.
And remember to leave your opinion about this knife down below in the comments.
Yes, please do. Whether you want to own it, or you do own it, or you used to have it. The Kershaw Leek, designed by Ken Onion. There's a lot of videos out there about this knife, but so don't discount it. I think that if you spend the money, you'll be pleasantly surprised, and the durability and usefulness of this knife are just outstanding. The detent is very strong. It's not going to open. In my opinion, you don't need the safety. Clip optional, depending if you want to be in the pocket or on the pocket, but
and it is stainless steel, so it is like pretty tough.
Look at you, Angie. It is.
Okay.
Yes, it's stainless steel. It's very tough, and a lot of people. Quick tidbit about Kershaw. Actually, there it is. You can see it. Kershaw, USA, American made. American made. but it's actually a Japanese company, a well-respected Japanese company that does quite well. And I think it's kind of amazing that you can get a Kershaw knife in every Walmart in America. So so take a look for it. Take a look for it, and I think if you get it and you enjoy a medium-size EDC knife that's all metal construction, that's a flipper, you won't go wrong.
Yeah.
Bye, and remember.
What? Remember to what?
I was going to say the catchphrase, but I don't think we're going to use it.
Yeah, I don't think. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks for watching our video.